So you have probably heard in the news that pilots make six figures. We're going to talk about pilot salaries and how much money we can actually make.
How we actually paid since the beginning all the way until maybe the senior captain in a heavy jet. That's when the money starts kicking in.
So welcome guys to the Baby Captains.
Phase 1. Big investment as a student pilot and you are already holding a mountain of a debt. So we're talking about six figures of debt.
After training, you go to finally reaching 1,500 hours where it's your first step to the regional airline. And then?
Qualified enough to become a major pilots in the major airlines. And then?
You can upgrade and become a senior captain wide body pilot, which they make the most.
Most of the pilots go.
If you want to know how much they make, stick to this video. Because we're going to break it down every single dollar.
And how every single stop that we get to pay off our debts. We, as a student pilot, already broke.
Expenses wise is something about close to six figures. We did training pre-pandemic about 7 years ago. So prices used to be different, completely different from whatever we have to pay now. But just think about it's either six figures or close to six figures.
For multi-engines, just solely multi-engine, the twin engines, as our good old days, $350 for me.
$450 for me. So that means, you know, basic math, if you do 2-hour flights, which used to be like about one lesson, 1 hour and a half to 2 hours, we're talking about $900. That's pretty much like a ticket to Europe.
For a lesson.
Yeah, that's per lesson. So it's expensive.
Yeah, and you think about it, it's gonna be like taking you maybe at least 30 to 40 hours.
So let's think about six figures. The first six figures. So number one and then 0, 0, 0, 0. Not 2, 0, 0, 0. That's a huge difference. But if you go to like Embry-Riddle and then you do flight training.
Oh, that can be time X of amount of 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, double, at least 3 times more.
Yeah, at least 3 times.
Because you're doing a degree and then you're also doing flight training at the same time, and that's a little bit more expensive. We're gonna go to salaries now. So first job was flight instructing. Tell us about it.
Flight instructing in our good old days, you can have your work-life balance, 20 per hour, 5 hours a day, 100 per day, 500 per week, 2,000 per month.
Yeah, so 2,000 per month, you could survive somehow.
Pay off your rent, pay off your gas, food, expenses, and nothing left for saving. That's pretty much it.
And I just want to say, I think I worked actually 1 year after pandemic, a couple months, and then they raised me to 35 in a different school. So, you know, from 20 to 35 for me, it was like a huge upgrade.
Jump, yeah.
Because, you know, $15 per hour, an extra up, that's huge. That's a good raise.
Yeah, think about 15 per hour. It's not even the promoter or the waiters in the restaurant. So, yeah, that are our good old days.
Yeah, so jumping from flight training then to flight instructing, now reaching your 1,500 hours, your first step going to the regionals.
The first ticket.
Let's see how much we can make.
For me, getting hired at that time, regional pilots, first year, first officer, 90 per hour.
So it was 90 per hour, but there's some differences and changes every year because it was up every year.
Yes.
I think right now they are a little bit over 100.
Correct.
101 or 103, I don't even know, but something about that.
Yes.
And then your monthly guarantee is
75 hours.
So 75 hours plus, let's just put it like $100. That's how you get. And then
7,500, 7,500.
But then, you know, taxes in the US and you know how much you're really going to make. And that really depends on the state where you live and also the city where you live and all that stuff. Even in the regionals, there's a few differences. Most regionals are about the same, but once you upgrade, you can start making something about...
You're looking at 150 to 160 the first day that you upgrade as a captain, because you will be in the company servicing for like maybe 2.5 years. Then you will start getting of a year 2 pay or year 3 pay as a captain.
And then we get the same amount monthly, that it's 75 hours. But that's our minimum. If you go over those hours, you'll get the extra hours that you're working. But minimum 75 hours times 150, 160.
In the regional, you can also be a line check pilot.
Sim instructor will pay you a little bit extra. But in majority, I'll say like not everyone is. Or they don't become one.
Once you have good amount of experience, maybe 3 years of service in a regional pilot's pool, then you get to the tickets becoming pilots in the major airlines. Then what is the first officer in those 3 big major airlines that we're talking about? American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and United Airlines, Gabriel?
So we did some research and we went to the contracts, which they are public and you can find it out.
Good thing about the US, they are very clear, open to the salaries.
So you just need to look a little bit of research and you will find it. Trust me, Google has everything. But we found out that pretty much Delta, United, and American are pretty close to their salaries, even though United is a little bit higher by $6, $7, $8, something around that.
Tax.
But we're just gonna run it up and then we're gonna give you like an average. And once you step your first day as a first officer in a major airline, you will start with something between 118 to 120, right?
Agree.
Yeah, so let's put it 120 on year 1 as a first officer. That's 2025. Every year it goes up. And then every time they have a new contract, they try to fight for the new salaries and they try to go up.
Yes, of course. People is looking of a higher salary every year.
Now, talking about minimum guarantees, how many hours is it per month? We believe, I'm not sure if everyone is the same, but I think it's something about $80 per hour, every 80 hours per month.
Agree, 80. So you're close to 6 figures, guys.
Yeah, so the first year that you become a pilot in the majors, you are at the 6 figures. And this is just like the minimum you have, because you also have some extra hours. If you go over the minimum guarantee, that's one. You also get some per diem. You also get this and that and that and blah, blah, blah. The other ones are a little bit lower, way lower. It's not like $120 per hour. It's, in our case, our per diem is like $3.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, no, $2.
$2, something like that. So yeah, it's not like, oh, we're going to get per diem 120. No, it's not that.
Yeah.
But you get some extras and everything adds up at the end of the month.
That's the first year. The second years can be a huge jump too. So if you think that being a regional captain, then it's going to be a downgrade for first officer in the major airlines. If you think it in the long run, not really actually.
Not even in the long run.
Yep.
We're talking about 2-3 years.
2-3 years, yes.
Yeah, on your second year, you have a raise about $60, I believe. So nothing crazy, from 118 to or 120 to 160.
180.
Oh, 180?
180.
Oh, 180.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a 40%.
So it's a huge upgrade. And then the year 3 is also about the same.
Yes.
But what about the top scale is year 12?
Yeah.
And what about that? Do you remember that?
So if we take in the comparison as Airbus 320 first officer, top scale, 12 years experience, $255 per hour.
Just also in between those 12 years, most likely, not everybody, but some of the pilots, or maybe mostly, they will upgrade to captains within those 12 years, which brings our next point, which is how much year 1
of a captain
will be making flying an Airbus 320.
I believe, if I'm not wrong, it's going to be a 330, generally speaking,
captain
per hour.
A320. How much is it?
330.
342. United was the one who pays the most, by the way.
Let's pack up and go United.
Wait. We just have some findings in this video. If you think United is good, think it twice. I mean, United is not bad, trust me.
Of course. What do you think?
But we have to talk a little bit more. But yeah, 342. So maybe American and Delta were like $10 short.
$4.
Oh, $4
$4 shorts. It's not a big difference.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But there's a difference, and that counts.
I totally agree with Gabriel.
Well, now said that, that's a year one captain on a narrow body, going to top scale 12 year.
Of a narrow body captain.
373. And that's as of this year. Again, every year goes up, and then every time they have a new contract, they try to fight for salaries. So, but do you think that's the end? No.
No.
We have big airplanes, wide bodies, the real money. I mean, not that they are not making money, but you can make much more money.
As a experienced captains in a narrow body, right now you're awarded to be a heavy jet captain.
If your seniority allows you.
True. So first year of a 777 captain makes about 450 per hour. 426.
426 in United. Same thing. American and Delta go a little bit lower, but close, about $4.
Yeah.
But yeah, 426 year one, and then you can level up all the way to year 12, which is top scale, which is about 465. So there's not a huge upgrade, but you're already making $400. So you know, plus you also get more seniority, more quality of life, and you start working less. If you want to, you can drop more trips.
This is the ultimate goal.
This is like the end of your career pretty much. But there's an eye-opening side about this video. You'll be like, oh, 456, this is the best airline. We're going to make the most money out of it. But there's some airlines in the world that you might make something close to that or a little bit less. But in the end, you take a little bit more home in your hands. And why is that?
Why is that? So taking an example, like the Middle East country, they are tax-free country.
Emirates.
So yeah, for them, similar, a heavy jet captain, top scale pay, they don't pay as much, 465 per hour. They might be just like 320 per hour, but they are tax-free country. So whatever you make, whatever in your pocket.
Plus, they also have some incentives that they will give you housing, education to your family, and a little bit extras that you are not spending a lot of money like in the U.S. So in the U.S., you will pay for your own housing, you will pay taxes, you will pay this and that. So top scale in a heavy airplane in Emirates, it's something about 350, getting close to the 400 with the bonuses and all that. But that's to your hands, that's cash. And then there's no taxes, there's no extras. So you might find that out.
Yes.
And that's how the Emirates, Qatar go to top 1 and 2 in the world.
Worldwide.
In the US, captain with 12 years old in the wide bodies will be paying
37% of the tax.
37% in taxes.
So we're talking about like 180 grand of tax that you're gonna be deducted per year.
Per year. It's not that you're making bad money. It's not that, but there's a huge difference with having a salary with your taxes and without your taxes.
And that is just the federal tax, yeah? What about your state tax too, that it has to be deducted from there?
And I believe some places have like a state tax and then city tax. And you know, good luck with that.
That tax, oh my goodness.
Good luck with that. Yeah, and then you're paying also taxes for your house every day, and you know, everything. Everything adds up. And that's how we figure out the top 1 is gonna be Emirates.
Top 2, Qatar. 3,
we also have Lufthansa.
Yeah, Cathay Pacific.
Cathay Pacific, and then United, Delta, American. Do you think you were expecting these numbers? Do you think this is enough, or do you think that's not enough? Because you know, there are different careers like surgeons and doctors that can make a lot of money, financial people, lawyers. You know, maybe this is not enough for you, but this is pretty much our field, and then that's what we know.
Yep.
It might be good enough for you, it might not be. Let us know in the comments.
Yes. And if you ever getting tempted about joining our field, maybe next episode will come up with how did we became this stage an airline pilot. Let us know if you want to know more about pilot trainings.
Please make sure you hit the like button Also subscribe. We have about 57% of our watchers that they are not subscribed. Also give it on the bell.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
And also don't forget to share if you feel that there are friends around you that might be interested about this video. And we'll see you
in the next episode.
Once again,
welcome aboard. Wow. Is every pilot rich?
Yuan, Hong Kong, Yuan again, Australia. Sorry, what did you say?
Are you rich or what?
Yeah, I just came back from all over the place and I'm trying to figure out, like, organize my money. What do you want? Some tip, maybe?
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, no more money.